Hey everyone, welcome back with another session of geography. I hope you are doing well. So we'll continue the same chapter, that is drainage. Now today our first topic of discussion, that is lakes. Now when we talk about lakes, you may be familiar with the valley of Kashmir and the famous Dal Lake, isn't it? So the houseboats and the shikaras over there, so which attract thousands of tourists every year. So similarly, you may have visited some other tourist spot near a lake and enjoyed boating, swimming and other water games. Now imagine that if Srinagar, Nainital and other tourist places did not have a lake, would they have been as attractive as they are? So that's the thing. Now apart from attraction for tourists, these lakes are also useful to human beings in many ways. So we'll discuss all these things. Okay. Now, as we see, India has many lakes. Now, these differ from each other in size and other characteristics. Now, most lakes are permanent. Now, some contain water only during the rainy season, so we can consider them as seasonal. Now, like the lakes in the basins of the inland drainage of semi-arid regions, that means in the dry regions. So, now there are some lakes which are the result of action of glaciers and ice sheets, while others have been formed by wind, river, action, and human activities. Now, if you see, a meandering river across a floodplain forms cutoffs. Now, these cutoffs later develops into oxbow lakes. The first picture, as you can see there. Now, spits and bars, they form lagoons in the coastal areas. For example, if you see the Chilka Lake, the Pulicat Lake, and the Kuleru Lake, all these things. Okay. Now, the lakes in the region of inland drainage are sometimes seasonal. Now, for example, if you see the Sambar Lake in Rajasthan, which is a saltwater lake, so its water is used for producing salt. Okay. Now, most of the freshwater lakes are in the Himalayan region. Now, they are of glacial origin. In other words, we can say they formed when glaciers dug out a basin which was later filled with snow melt. If you see, the Ulur Lake in Jammu and Kashmir is the example. Now, in contrast is the result of tectonic activity, and it is the largest freshwater lake in India. And along with the Ulur Lake, the Dal Lake, Vimtal, Nainital, Loktak and the Varapani are some other important freshwater lakes. Fine. Now, apart from all these natural lakes that we have talked about, okay, now the damming of the rivers for the generation of the hydel power has been useful, and it has led to the formation of lakes such as the Guru Gobind Sagar, and we know it as the Bhakra Nangal project. Okay. That's the thing. So these are considered as the artificial lakes, or you can tell them as the man-made lakes. Now, if you see lakes, now what are the importance of lakes? Now, lakes are of great value to human beings. A lake helps to regulate the flow of a river. Along with this, during heavy rains, it prevents flooding, and during the dry season, it helps to maintain an even flow of water. Okay. Also, lakes can also be used for developing hydel power. So for the production of hydroelectricity, it's very useful. Now they moderate the climate of the surroundings. Yes. Like in the present, the areas just near the lakes, they will be having a moderate kind of weather. Okay, and also they maintain the aquatic ecosystem, enhances the natural beauty, which further helps develop tourism and provide recreation for all of us. Okay, so these are all the importance of lakes. Now next up we have, that is the role of rivers in the economy. Now, rivers have been of fundamental importance throughout the human history. If you see, water from rivers is a basic natural resource which are essential for various human activities. Now, therefore, river banks have attracted settlers from ancient times. Now, if we see the Indus Valley civilization, that we also know it as the Harappan civilization, the Aryans, okay, the people in Mesopotamia. So, all of them, they built their civilization. They started settling just near the rivers. Now, these settlements have now become big cities. All these settlements, they have become big cities. Now, using rivers for irrigation, navigation, hydropower generation is of special significance, and particularly to a country like India, where agriculture is the major source of livelihood of the majority of its people. So these things, these usage of rivers are vast. Okay, that's the thing. Now, as we are talking about the role of rivers in the economy, so another burning topic that comes up, that is the river pollution. Now, if you see, guys, the growing domestic, municipal, industrial and agricultural demand for water from rivers naturally affects the quality of water. Okay, and as a result, what happens? More and more water is being drained out of the rivers, reducing their volume. Fine. Now, on the other hand, if you see, a heavy load of untreated sewage and industrial effluents are emptied into the rivers, and this affects not only the quality of water but also the self-cleansing capacity of the river. Now, if you see, for example, given the adequate stream flow, the Ganga water is able to dilute and assimilate pollution loads within 20 km of large cities. Okay, now, but the increasing urbanization and industrialization do not allow it to happen, and the pollution level of many rivers has been rising. So, concern over rising pollution in our rivers led to the launching of various action plans to clean the rivers. Just like that is the Ganga Action Plan. Now, the river cleaning program in the country was initiated with the launching of the Ganga Action Plan, that we know it as GAP, in the year 1985. And the Ganga Action Plan was expanded to cover other rivers under the National River Conservation Plan in the year 1995. Now, the main objective of this National River Conservation Plan is to improve the water quality of the rivers, which are major water resources in the country, through the implementation of pollution abatement work. So this way the government is taking initiative with proper plannings, so that to keep the rivers clean and pollution free. Alright, so with this we come to end of this chapter. So that's it for now. Until the next time with some other chapters. Bye bye.